How you doing today? This is Dave and Mara here to go over how to properly squat today.
Hi, everybody.
So Mara's going to show you a couple squats, and then we will kind of go into the points of performance and how to properly execute a squat. So she'll show you two from the front, two from the side, and then we'll go from there. Nice. All right. Okay, guys. So that was Mara's perfect squat. That's why I got her to do this, and I didn't. I don't have a perfect squat. Okay, maybe it's okay. Anyway, she's my demo girl today. So what we're looking for in a squat, we got to first find your stance, right? So where your feet go. Your feet should be about shoulder width apart. Okay, so shoulder width apart. Set up your feet under your hips. From there, you want to make sure that your feet are slightly turned out, right? So your toes are turned out a little bit in order that they track in line with your toes. So we always want your knees to be tracking over your toes when you squat. Next, I want you to focus on heels in the ground. So as you're standing there, we want to focus on those heels being back in the ground. Basically, your weight should be on the back 3/4 of your foot. And then we want to start to descend into the squat. Actually, so what you're going to do is when you descend into the squat, we want to focus on heels in the ground, right? Feet shoulder width, and she's going to start to drive those hips back. Now, stop. Right here, what we want to look at is maintaining your lumbar curve and that back nice and straight. Okay, so as she descends, you're going to see the back be nice and straight. Weight sits back in those heels. She comes down and then up. Okay, so we always want to maintain your core being tight. You're going to hear this a lot from us, but this is the one thing that protects the spine in many of the movements that we're going to do, is creating that stability in the trunk or the core. So make sure that the stomach is nice and tight.
Squeeze those abs.
It's amazing. Squats can actually build abs if you focus. Okay. So she's going to squeeze those abs nice and tight. Keep that back nice and straight. She's going to sit back to her heels, and she's going to start to descend back. Hips go back to the wall. Down, down, down. Okay, now stop. In the bottom position, what we're looking for is the hips should be below the knees. If I put a ball on her thigh, it should roll toward her hips, not off. This would be proper depth to get the most out of your squat. Come on up. Obviously, we can modify that if we need to, depending on where your mobility is. But we're going to go one more time. She's going to go all the way down. Back nice and straight. Okay. When we talk about keeping that trunk engaged and keeping that chest up, we want to focus on not letting the hips roll under. So if you notice, she does this, she gets a round in her back. So we want to keep that nice and straight. Okay. Then she's going to stand all the way up, and at the top, she opens her hips all the way. One cue I like to give is I tell people, squeeze your butt at the top, right? We want to focus on squeezing the butt. So that is your proper squat. Okay. If you need to modify it, there's a couple ways we can do that. Mara's going to set up, but what you can do is find yourself a chair, some books, some weights, whatever you need to do at a proper height that will allow you to get to the depth of your mobility. This is based on where you can go, but for right now, she's going to go a little bit below parallel and squat to a box. So she's going to squat down, same thing, weight goes in her heels, hips go back. She's going to maintain tension on that box. So if you notice, she is slightly leaned forward. If she sits all the way down, right, this is going to happen. She's going to sit back, right? So she can stand up from there, and if she sits down again and squats and sits down, she's going to sit down, her chest is going to come up. Right? We don't want that. We want to maintain the tension in the squat to learn that squat. She's going to come down, touch, and then she can come back up. Now, if that is challenging, obviously we said to go below parallel. This is what we talked about earlier. But if you can't get there because of your mobility, that is okay. We got to slowly kind of get you there and slowly make it lower and lower as we work through it. So she put another box on top of that. She's going to squat down, right? Maintain that tension. and then she's going to come back up. Okay? And then she's going to go back down again, maintain that tension, and she's going to come back up. So this is a good way to slowly start to get to the depth you need. Okay? Make sure that you guys make it a little challenging for yourself. Okay, so don't just go, oh, that's easy. I always tell people go about a half inch to an inch lower than you feel comfortable, but that you can maintain the proper posture. Okay, so that is your squats. Mara has something to say here for you, but.
And then what's really important with doing your squat is everything that Dave just went over. The quality of your movement, keeping those shoulders, your feet shoulder width apart, your knees in line with your toes, keeping that back nice and straight, keeping that core engaged, okay? All of those things, the quality is more important than the quantity. So we want you to fully develop your muscles, okay, and your mobility, okay? If you need to, in your workouts, you can reduce the reps if you are finding that you are losing those mechanics. All right? Dave's going to wrap us up.
All right, guys. So there are many more types of squats. You can check out our videos. We will have things on weighted squats and different types of squats. But this is your basic air squat that you want to perfect before we move you into anything else. Your movement, as Mara said, is more important. The quality of your movement is more important than how much you do, how fast you go. All that comes with proper mechanics down the road. But remember, building your foundation first is going to be the most important thing to give you overall success as you go through our program. Anyway, check out our videos, and you guys stay strong, stay safe, and stay fit, and we will see you soon. Have a good day.
Bye.